friends, welcome to the math lesson for Friday. I have a little bit of review. So we're going to pretend it's Tuesday in class. And what do we always do on Tuesdays? Let me look at can you guess? Time. So I know that you guys don't have your clocks with you, but I'm going to hold up my analog clock and then you tell me what time it is. I'm going to write the time on the whiteboard that it was and see if you got it right. If you want to grab a piece of paper and write the digital time, that would be great. Now, as a reminder, your digital time is you have the hour and then the colon and the minutes on this side, okay? So remember, so if you want to get either a whiteboard or a piece of paper and write the digital time of what I'm holding up, that'd be great practice for you. IXL has a lot of analog and digital clocks as well. So the first time, and you can shout out if you want, but you could always pause your video and go get the paper if you'd like to and do a digital time. The first time, let's start off simple. What time is it? Did you say it or did you write it? So the time that it is what? This is how we write it on the digital clock. 2 o'clock. Good. This is 2 o'clock. Good. Okay, next one. What time is this? Okay. Look carefully. What time is it? Look carefully at the hour. What is it between? So it's not past and the minute. Here is the time. 3:30. So here's the hour, 3 and 30 minutes past the hour is 3:30. Okay, next one. Okay. What time is it? Okay, look at the hour first. The hour and the minutes. Remember, you're going to count by what when you get to each one? You know, did you say 7:15? Yes, the hour is 7 and it's 15 minutes. So see, we're at the hour and the minutes is 15. 5, 10, 15. Okay, great job, guys. Again, if you want extra practice, then please go on IXL. There are some great analog clocks, digital clocks. I know many of you have still been practicing those. Don't forget about the graph section. Don't forget about the graph section. I put ones under for Venn diagram. That's not in the graph section. It's in sorting, ordering, and classifying. And I starred ones for that. I also put ones that are under graphing so that you could work through that this week and next week, okay? All right, so this week we have learned about Venn diagrams. We've learned about graphs. We have learned about pictographs, which are picture graphs. And today we're learning about bar graphs. So, and again, a graph is a chart that shows information. People use graphs to display or compare numbers of real things, okay? So a pictograph uses pictures or symbols to show the numbers of objects, all right? Now, we're gonna be looking at a bar graph today. Now, the graph is called a bar graph because it uses colored or shaded bars of certain lengths to show the numbers of objects. And by looking at the end of a bar, you can see the exact number of each type of object. So we're going to be looking at our paper today. So go ahead and get out page 291 right here. Ooh, we've seen these bears before. So go ahead and get that out while I share my screen with you. Okay, there we are. Okay, so at the top I have my pictures of my bears. Okay, at the top I have my pictures of my bears. Let me get my paper here. Okay, so I have my pictures of my bears. So here's all the bears. Now we're going to, let me see if I could turn this a different way, guys. Just a minute here. Let me see if this works. Okay, that did not work. So let me see. All righty. Well, I'm going to have to do my paper this way, guys, but you should have your paper right in front of you. So we are going to need some crayons, and we'll get started with crayons. So this graph shows right here the title of the graph, which is up at the top. Let me get this, which is bears. Do you see the title of the graph? And the label at the bottom, which is the colors of the bears. And then the label on the side, do you see this? Numbers of the bears. Okay. Do we see that there? There, that's a little bit better. Okay. So we have bears at the top, the color of bears at the bottom, and the numbers of the bears on the bottom. So you could just get one crayon, or actually, it looks like at the bottom, you're going to need red, blue, yellow, orange, and green. So go ahead and pause your video and go ahead and grab those colors. All right. So we are going to look, you're back with your colors, and we are going to look at number one. We're going to color the bar graph to match the pictograph. So even though I'm trying to get my whole paper, there we go, there's the whole paper. There we are. I am getting my whole paper on there. So we're going to color this bar graph to match the pictograph. Now, and again, here is the color of the bears, and here is the number of the bears. So this right here, guys, up at the top, right here that I'm circling, this is the pictograph, okay? That is the pictograph on the top. It uses pictures or symbols to show. Now, on the bottom, we are going to make the bar graph, which uses a bar. And at the end of the bar, we could see what we need to know about those color of bears and how many there are. So let's look at the first column. It says red. So we're going to get out our red crayon, and we're going to look at the top picture of the bears and see how many red bears are there. There are 2. So do you see these numbers right on the side? Let me highlight them here for you. Okay, so this is 1 box, that's 2 boxes, 3 boxes, and 4 boxes. So it has 1, 2, 3, and 4. But how many red bears are there? There are 2. So how many of those boxes are we going to color in? 2. We are going to color in 2 of those boxes. So go ahead and color in 2 boxes. Okay, if you're not finished, then just pause your video and join us when you are finished coloring the 2. Okay, moving on to the next color of bears. We're going to see how many blue. The blue bears are next. So how many blue bears are on the pictograph on the top section? There's 3. So how many of the boxes on the bottom are we going to color? That is correct. We're going to color 3 because there's 3 blue bears. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I colored my 3 blue boxes. Again, if you haven't finished coloring, pause your video at this time and join us when you're finished coloring. Now we are moving on to the yellow. So you're going to get your yellow crayon and see how many yellow bears there are on the pictograph and color that many boxes. I'm going to color mine, you color yours and see if we get the same thing. Okay, how many yellow bears did you count? Well, there's only 1 on the top pictograph, and on the bottom, how many bars are we going to color? Just 1. Okay, now we're going to get to orange. Again, pause your video if you are not finished coloring in. Orange, how many bears do we count on the pictograph at the top, and how many bars do we color in at the bottom? You go ahead, pause your video, and come back when you're finished. Okay, so now we're moving on to the last column, green. How many green are in the pictograph and how many are you going to color in the bottom? Pause your video and come back when you're finished. Okay, so we should be all finished here. So does your bar graph look like mine on the bottom? And again, we use the pictograph from on top to make our bar graph on bottom, okay? Super job. So now we're gonna turn over our paper and we're gonna go to the back of our paper. And again, if you are not finished, then pause your video and come back when you're ready. We're gonna go to the back of our paper. And Ms. Bartolome is gonna erase this. I had to find a new way to share my screen with you because something was going on with mine that wasn't working correctly. Okay, so at the top, I'm gonna read the top and you follow along with me. Mr. Garcia's students had a vote. They voted for their favorite kind of ice cream and they made a table. They made a table. Okay. Now, so the table is now what information do we see here? What is the title? The title is Ice Cream Flavors, okay? And we gotta look at the left column and read the names of the flavors that Mr. Garcia's class chose as their favorite. So what are the names of the flavors? Chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry, okay? Okay, so the students voted on chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry. Okay, so how many, now he used this table, but we've got to make a bar graph on the bottom. We've got to make a bar graph on the bottom, and we also have to make tally marks. Who remembers tally marks? I do. Okay, remember tally marks? I'm just going to show you to the side here. Remember, this is a tally mark. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we put it all together to make 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But this is 5. But what if I want 7 for this one? Then I'm going to choose 5, 6, 7. Those are tally marks. Remember those? Okay, so we're going to have to do that for this section too. But let's fill in. Let's first do chocolate. How many of the students voted that they like chocolate the best? 9, right, you see that? There's the 9. Now let's make 9 tally marks. Remember, we group them in 5s. So let's make 9 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close the door, remember? Okay, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we are. So 9 of them like chocolate. Now we've got to go down to our bar graph and color in our bar graph. So we see the ice cream, oopsie, let me get my highlighter. We see ice cream flavors, and there's chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. And here's the number of votes. So, okay, we're just looking at chocolate. So how many voted for chocolate? 9. So how many are you going to color in for chocolate? Right, you're going to color in 9. So I'll get my brown for chocolate. If you have brown, great. If you don't, just use any color that you like. So we're going to color in 9 chocolate on the bar graph. Go ahead and pause your video until you've colored in 9. Okay. So, did you color in all of them? Right, you did, because why do we color in all of them? Because there are 9 of this number here, and 9 students, their favorite ice cream is chocolate. Now let's go back up to the top. Okay, he took a vote of vanilla. How many students liked vanilla best? 7. Let's make the tally marks for 7. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Shut the door. It's 5, 6, 7. There is 7 tally marks. Now, what do we have to do on the bottom? We have to color in our bar graph from the information on the top. So how many bars are we going to color? Did you say 7? You are correct. I'm going to use my yellow because I'm going to make it so that we can see the colors. If you don't have, you guys, you could just use the same color if you wish. But how many bars are you going to color in? Look at the top. How many students voted on vanilla being their favorite? There's your answer. Come back when you're finished. Okay, so I'm finished with coloring in my 7. I colored all the way. I colored 7 boxes, and if you look over, the end of my 7 is right here. So I colored up to 7, okay? All right, now strawberry was the last flavor that we voted on. How many votes for strawberry? 6. Let's make our tally marks for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close the door makes 5, and there's 6. Okay? Sorry, that does not look like a 6. That looks like a number 7. So let me redo that. 7. Okay, there we go. Okay, now I gotta close that door. Now we gotta color our bar graph. Go ahead and see what you get, and then come back and check with me. How many did it color? Okay, there we are. All right, so do you see, we got our information for the bar graph from the table at the top of the paper. That is called the table, okay? But we made a bar graph from the table. And on the front, we made a bar graph from the pictograph. Okay, great. So now we are all finished with our graphing for today, for this one. If you have any questions or you want to go over this again, please have your parent contact me and I can meet with you on Zoom one-on-one so we could go through either the Venn diagram, the bar graph, or the pictograph whichever one you might have been confused from. But I love doing graphs. They are really neat and a way to get information and counts of items of the information we're looking for. So that is it for today. And woohoo! We are all finished with our Friday lessons. I hope. Did you do your phonics? Did you do your Bible? Did you do praise and worship? And you're all done. And if you haven't done all of those, get to work so you can start the rest of your Friday and your fun weekend. I love you and I miss you, and I will see you on Monday. Bye-bye.